Welcome to the Aquaspresso Coffee Academy, and today we're going to be reviewing the Jura WE8. The Jura WE8 is intended ideally for medium-sized offices, right? Who obviously like coffee, like bean to cup coffee, like proper fresh milk coffee, and it's one of the newest in the Jura range. Quite a bold look, quite different to some previous models. It's the mirrorless finishes on the side. And firstly, just to go through the pros and the cons, the good and the bad part of it. So to start with the bad part, unfortunately it does have some bad parts. So you have your milk spout on the right of the machine, and you have your coffee spout on the center of the machine, which is no problem at all for users that are used to the machine, that have used it a few times before. But it can be challenging for first-time users. So what can happen, and we've unfortunately seen this before, if you're a first-time user and you get to the machine and say, this is so exciting, this machine looks awesome, and it says I can make cappuccino, so I want to make cappuccino, and they put the cup over here and you make cappuccino, which is bad. And it's bad because the milk on this machine, whether it's a cappuccino, latte, flat white, all comes out on the right spout. So it's not integrated in the center, right? Which is not usually a huge train smash, but it can be tricky for first-time users. Okay. Second thing, which is maybe not ideal, right? Comparing it to some other models, water tank is big. It is a 3-liter water tank, which is big, but it's not as big as some of the other models. Some other models are 6 liters, for example, double the size. So water means you've got to fill up more often. Water tank not as big means you've got to fill up more often. Onto the pros of the machine. So there's a lot of new nice features of the machine which no other automatic machines typically have had before in one machine. Bean hopper, big, huge 500 gram bean hopper, which is very rare on an automatic machine. And typically what happens in previous machines is they would have a very big water tank and a tiny bean hopper, which was very mismatched, which means you were constantly filling up your coffee although you were only filling up your water once a day. Now they've brought the bean hopper and the water tank almost in line to the right size for each other. Other nice features, looks-wise, it is quite a good-looking machine. It's quite different to other machines. It's quite a showpiece in your office or in reception. On the pro side, this machine does have many pros, right? Number one, there is a TFT screen, so it is still easy. Besides for the fact that they are separated, it is super easy for first-time users. I can see what I need to press. If I want a coffee, I press coffee and I get a coffee. Hopper big, which we've spoken about, but it's really important. And other side is that your froth on this machine also is one of the super fine foam froths from Jura, where it comes out super thick. And we're going to make a cup of coffee or a latte now. And last thing, I'm using a latte glass here, but you get some latte glasses which have the stem at the bottom. And traditionally they become a big frustration for pretty much most coffee machines because you can't fit them in when you have really large latte glass. Now, the WE8 is one of the first which has this option to go super high and really to fit pretty much any latte glass underneath. So that's pretty much the pros and cons of the WE8. We're going to make a quick cup of coffee, you can see how it operates, and then hope it helps. Alright, so we're going to make a quick latte on the WE8. So press the button. This gives me the option of changing strength just before. I have one more option to change my strength before I make my latte. If I didn't press either of these buttons, it would have made it on the standard strength setting. I would have pressed this side to go up in strength or left side to go down in strength. It shows me how much milk has been predetermined to fit in this cup, which is 22 seconds. And we would do that in the testing phases and so on. If you find that's wrong at any stage, you can just decrease it as we go, or I can just press the cancel button to stop it immediately. Now, because we've chosen a latte and not a cappuccino, there's an interval set in here, which is 30 seconds. So I'm going to make a little bit less. And the purpose of the interval is to allow the milk to separate. So if I would make the coffee immediately after the froth, I would have lots of froth milk and I'd have coffee sitting at the bottom. Now, because I'm allowing for an interval, it allows this milk to separate into froth milk at the top and steam milk or hot milk at the bottom, which will hopefully allow me to create a proper latte where my coffee sits in between the two, based on purely on density, that I'll have my most dense steam milk at the bottom, slightly less dense coffee in the middle, and my froth at the top. And there we are. Voila.